Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friends in Recovery Podcast. I'm Jersey Ed, along with Skylar, Noontime with Sky, over in her little cafe. I don't know how you get that same seat every week, Sky, but welcome to the show.
They love me here.
I know they do. They must close it off.
One free latte a week.
One free latte. Wow, yeah. Better. I just had to make my own. I had to
buy 10 of them while I'm here.
Yeah. Give me there one. You go. Well, to everybody at the cafe, at Friends in Recovery Cafe, we said hello. So
okay.
But I'm excited about the show today, Skylar, because this is this topic that we're no guests today. This topic is kind of gets me going a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if you guys stick around, we'll tell you what the topic is, but you have to hear all of our other bantering back and forth first. So I do want to let everybody know that right off the top, let's do this. The $50 Amazon gift card, we're giving one away from Friends in Recovery Friends in Recovery, basically. And all you got to do is just email us your sobriety date or a sober shout out and just say hello. That's it. Mm-hmm. And you want to email it to help@friendsinrecoverypodcast.com. That's help at friendsinrecoverypodcast.com. And you'll be automatically entered in. So the end of this month, we will put a name or names in the hat. And, we will pick one. So what else we got going on? Friends in Recovery meetings, right? You were just on one. I was on one this afternoon. You were just on one. I had to bail out early, but give us a little bit of updates on that stuff.
Well, I also really want to say real quick too, though, Scott Carney, he had a birthday this month. I wanted to say happy birthday to him.
Scott, happy birthday.
Yep. And Dan at the facility. So both of them had birthdays.
What's up, Dan?
Just wanted to say happy birthday to them.
Good. So, hey, I like that. That's why you run this show. That's why I'm just a pretty face on this show, Sky. Okay. Oh, and hey, real quick, I'm doing throwback. Look, a cigar. I got a cigar today. We don't get too many nice days up here in the Northeast anymore, and it's nice. So I'm actually sitting outside doing this podcast, and I'm smoking a cigar. So Podfather, this one's for you. This show's dedicated to you, Podfather.
Right.
Yeah, Sky, I'm sorry.
So we have a Adventures Committee meeting coming up too. That's in the beginning of every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month.
Yep.
So that's actually not right around the corner. So if you guys want to jump on that, we're planning a bunch of stuff, so that'd be awesome. What else was there?
We have all the Facebook pages, Friends in Recovery communities, Friends in Recovery Adventures.
Yeah, and they're groups too. So some of them are groups on the Genesis House page, but just make sure you get involved because Stacy does little contests and giveaways and stuff all the time.
Yeah, get on all that stuff, guys. And the adventure stuff, we have a lot of adventures going on. That can be, you can see it on genesishouse.net under connections. Well, I think that's how you get to us on the podcast. But yeah, go on the Facebook page. We're doing a lot of adventure stuff, a lot of good stuff coming up. October, we're doing a pumpkin picking thing. November, we're doing trivia. And you can come on to do the trivia with us. It's a Friendsgiving trivia. You can come on anywhere in the United States and kind of, join us. We'll put it up when it is, what time, and the Zoom link for it all. I know Georgia Friends in Recovery folks are going to challenge us to that. I hope that's still on. So if you're listening to Georgia, let us know. And what else? Instagram, Facebook, just look for us all over the place. Guys, get involved in this community, man, because you want to get involved because the more we hang on to your recovery, the more you put into recovery, the more you're going to get out of it. And you know what? You never know who you're going to help. Maybe if you're at a Friends in Recovery adventure, maybe somebody young in recovery is there or whatever the case may be. You never know what's going to happen through it. So, that's kind of what I always say about that. Let's see. Oh, the other thing, when I was giving my honor to Podfather there, guys, check out last week's show. Not Friends in Recovery. Check out the Answering the Call to First Responders podcast. Yours truly was a guest on. As most of you guys know in FIR land, that Podfather's now doing the ATC and Skylar and I are taking over the Friends in Recovery, or FIR as we call it. So behind the scenes talk stuff.
Right.
So I was a guest on his show. It went really well. It was good to be back with him. He said to say hello to everybody. We'll have him on. We'll interview the shit out of him one day on this show, and we'll put him in the hot seat, Sky, one day.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, Sky, before we get into the topic? You okay? Everything good? What's how you doing?
I am grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful that I'm in recovery, and I'm grateful that I'm still above ground and breathing, because like life is short and we have no idea when it's our time. And we have this gift of recovery, we really do. And like little things, you know, I just don't realize that come along with it. It is the little stuff that shows up in life, you know. But no, I'm doing pretty good. I'm grateful. I really am. You know, sometimes even when things bad happen in recovery, I still can find the gratitude in it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
you learn from it.
Yeah. I was just reading a book on my way back. I was in Boston for the week, and I was reading in a book that 90% of things go wrong in our lives, but how we deal with them and move through them, you wouldn't even know 90% of things go wrong. I mean, you know, you miss a flight, you can't get in the bathroom stall at the airport, you know, you have your cup of coffee sit for too long and it gets cold. I'm not saying there are major things that go wrong, but 90% of things don't go our way or the way we think that they go. But we get through them. And if we don't put that energy into it, they just pass us by, and we just keep going and going and going. And like you said, you got the gift of recovery. That is our topic today, Skylar. I want to bring that full circle around. The gift of recovery, to accept it or not. I was also reading some statistic. I don't know where I got it from, but and this is what kind of generated this topic, because we're in this business, Skylar and I, we do, you know, we help people get into treatment, and the gift of recovery, to accept it or not. A lot of people don't accept it. You know, a lot of people say no and they go on their merry way, and shit happens, unfortunately. But the statistic that I just read, there's 27 million addicts in the United States right at this very moment, right now. 27 million active addicts. Only 2% of the 27 million will find recovery, will accept recovery. 2%, guys. So if you're out there listening, if you're out there, you know, contemplating, or if you're out there with a long-term sobriety, you are in a very special club. We're the 2%ers, guys. I think the Hells Angels have 1%ers. So recovery, we have 2%ers. We're the 2%ers. Seriously. You know, when I talk to somebody about coming into recovery or doing working with them, trying to get them to come to AA or Genesis House or whatever, or any treatment center or whatever, to accept the gift of recovery. And when they say no, man, my heart's broken, because they don't really know what the hell is waiting for them. You know, the other thing too is you give up one thing to get everything back, or you hold on to that one thing and you lose everything, you know. And I know I said that before on the show, but that's so true, you know. So we're going to talk about the gift of recovery, to accept it or not today, Sky. What's your thoughts on that? And tell me how you accepted that gift of recovery. What did you do? You know, I think some of it came with acceptance, not even realizing it, because, you know, today I have self-awareness, right? And I've had it all along probably, but I just didn't know how to tap into it, right? But if I think about the gifts of recovery, being able to be honest, that's a really good gift of recovery that I had no idea how to do it. I didn't realize it was a gift. I didn't know it was happening. Yeah. Or like, you know, just being able to be humble and say I'm wrong, or you know, like they're really big gifts of recovery that go far in life, you know, that we need for life skills, you know? But to accept it, that's the hard part. And I think the first year of recovery, it was for me, I didn't want to accept it. I just was doing it for my mom. And then I think when I got a year, it was like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. Let me give this a try. And I just kind of kept going, you know? Well, acceptance is the key. Isn't that in our big book? Isn't that in our literature? Isn't that tell us that once you accept things, you know what, even I remember when I got sober, I remember the weight that was lifted off of me when I said, I'm going to go into treatment. Now, I didn't go into treatment for me. I didn't give a fuck about me at the time. If you see me at the time, you know, I had long hair, I had a beard, I had, you know, I have tattoos, but I got more tattoos, but, you know, I was just a miserable fucking piece of shit. That's what I was at the time. So I couldn't believe in myself. And I had to figure out, okay, I'm going to go in for my wife. I'm going to go in for my kids. And the minute I accepted that, and I knew that there was some hope, guys, that was a big relief. Now, was there a lot of work to do afterwards? Oh yeah, tons of fucking work. Still, there's still lots of work. I just talked to my sponsor. We're doing my 4th and 5th step again. Oh, why I said it, but it's what you got to do in life,
Fun,
you know.
fun.
And yeah. Anyways, 27 years into it, man, I got to clean house again.
You
so,
do though, always.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, but the gift of recovery, guys, when even if you're on here contemplating about it and thinking about it, once you say yes to this gift, it's like you can breathe, right? I mean, like when you did that, I know your story, Sky, and your mom. And so what, you did it for your mom, who cares? But look where you're at today. You're doing it for you. Who the fuck cares who you're doing it for? Just get into these rooms, get into recovery, get into a treatment. It doesnn't matter, to what you do for it, because you'll sort it out later. Because when we're in our early stages of our late stages of drinking, we cannot make a decision. I couldn't even decide what fucking pair of underwear I should put on. And they were all white. So,
you
that's
said something key. You said, I didn't believe in myself. And you know what? That's why we need the fellowship, because they believe in us when we can't, And like today, you believe in yourself. That's why you're still here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? What's the old saying? We'll love you until you can love yourself. And that is so true in these rooms.
And now we do it for others, right? Think about how much love you show newcomers. I love it. That's like I get fired up about it.
Well, your alumni meeting, Sky, we didn't even talk about that at the beginning. Our alumni meetings every Tuesday night. And at 8:15, it's more of a closed meeting for our alumni. So any of the alumni listening, you better get on that meeting, because Sky was looking for you. And we get a good turnout, 25, 30 people every week. Some of the therapists go on. If you're listening, guys, some of the therapists go on. You can get on there and talk to your therapist. It's a great meeting to get on. But you work with them all the time. You see the alumni. You're our alumni director over at Genesis House. And you see that, you see the growth and the transformation of each person. And also, unfortunately, maybe some deaths, maybe some people who don't want this. That's the or not part. There are people
you
that
see them regressing too.
It.
You see like the slipping too, because they reach out to you, they show up in the meetings, and then the attendance kind of like starts flaking a little bit, and or hey, I haven't checked in a while, just little things you start noticing,
Yeah, exactly. So the gift of recovery. So why do you think it's called a gift, Sky? I'm just going to pull the gift of recovery to accept or not. We're going to pull it apart. Why do you think it's called a gift? There's no right or wrong answer. What do you think it's called a gift?
It's priceless.
Yeah.
It's given to us. And it's something that we can carry with us through life. Like, it's a gift. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my thought about that is that when you get a gift, I don't care if you like it or not. You're always, oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's so good. You always accept it, right? You always accept that gift. Okay.
I love it.
And if you walk away with it and you're okay with it or whatever, it doesn't matter like what in front of the people. Okay, I don't like it. I'm okay with it, whatever it is. But that gift is given to you from somebody who either worked hard to buy it or put a lot of thought into it, or really thought of what you may like. And that's where this comes from, me anyways. That's where the gift part comes from. That is really important. I never, ever turn down a gift. Not that I get gifts all the time.
You have the biggest gift giving wife there is too.
Yes, I do. I know. Yes, she is a big.
Yeah, you don't turn it down.
Yeah, you don't turn it down. And this is one important gift I don't think anybody should turn down. Nobody. If this gift is presented to you, and this gift is, and of course, within reason, gifts within reason. I mean, but this gift, this gift of recovery, nobody should turn down because of this.
Almost like we're chosen for this gift.
2%. We're the 2%ers. We're the 2%ers.
Those seats were like chosen for us. Like,
yeah.
It's a really big gift.
Yeah. So if you're getting handed this gift, man, don't turn it away. Don't say no. So that's one part of it. Recovery, the gift of recovery. So recovery, what's recovery mean to you?
To get better, to grow,
New life. right?
Yeah.
We get a new life. Recovery means that, recovery can, the definition of recovery is to get better from something. But
Mhm.
if you dig deep into this, this program, recovery gives me new life. It gives me something to look forward to. I don't have to live that, guys, I always look at it this way. I lived that dark, bad, horrible, just crushing life before. And
Mhm.
then I was given this gift in the middle at 28 years old. It was handed to me and said, here you go, Ed. And now I lead this wonderful, wonderful, it's all not fucking roses and rainbows and fucking all that shit, but it's a much better life because I can work through my problems now. I don't have to go use over it. I don't have to fucking go passed out. Real quick, I had a moment at the hotel in Boston. Okay. I come downstairs to get a bottle of water about 11 o'clock the other night. And the elevator door opens and there's this drunk guy laid out, because the bar area was right there, laid out on the floor, sleeping. I was like, by the grace of God, there go I. I was that guy. Laying there in a bar, so drunk I couldn't even make to my fucking hotel room. Not that I could afford a hotel room back then when I was using and abusing, but that was me. And I said a little prayer for him, walked by him, told the guy at the front desk, I don't know what I ever did with him, but he wasn't there in the morning when I woke up. So, but that's
crazy to think that used to be you, right? It's
exactly.
like a blessing.
So like, wow. That's the gift of recovery that I got. My new life. I don't have to lay on that fucking floor anymore, Sky. I don't have to be passed out in that bar. I don't have to be waiting. God, how many times you wait for the dope man to come by and bring you your shit, and the motherfucker's coming, and then you wait there for 3 hours and he doesn't show up. Yeah, he'll be here any minute now, right? I mean, how many times do we do that? The worst is right? We don't have
position.
Yeah, right. And we don't have to live that life anymore, though. That life does not exist in my world anymore. The only thing that exists in my world waiting for something is a freaking Uber. When they tell you they're going to be here in 9 minutes, they're there in 22 minutes. That's the only thing. And then I got the smarts and the ability to cancel it and go with somebody else if I want. I don't have to wait around anymore. That is what recovery means to me. A new life, new thinking, a new way of being,
A blank canvas. Honestly, that's what I felt like. I felt like it was like just a blank sheet and I was making something new. And then, my career changed. I went from engineering to social work, and I found human services where my joy was. And that was all through the gift of recovery that I found out, and then went back to school. It all comes together through that gift of recovery for me, at least.
Exactly. Now here's the important part: to accept it, to accept it. That is the most important part here, to accept it. Okay. So our topic today is the gift of recovery, to accept it or not. To accept it means, a lot of work, means a lot of heartaches, might mean a loss of a marriage, might mean, you might have to kind of back away from your family, might mean you might have to go into rehab, might mean you have to go into a sober living house. But once you accept it, and all that stuff I just mentioned is growth. It's not, you're not going backwards, So that acceptance piece means to me that there's going to be growth in your life. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because when there's pain, at the end of pain is always growth. Yes. And think about it. When we were young, do you ever get like leg cramps when you're young? Oh my God, growing pains, for when we were younger, we grew, and those pains, our body was growing. And, and there's always growth after pain, and again, when you accept it, a couple of things, when you accept recovery, especially, when you're going to treatment, or maybe if you're at first AA meeting, you feel like a piece of shit. You don't feel worthy. Me anyways, I felt like, oh my God, am I going to be embarrassed in front of my family? This is so embarrassing. Everybody in this world doesn't, do this. Yeah, you're right. Everybody doesn't get the gift of recovery. 2% guys, 2% get this. So you should feel proud, and you should feel worthy that you got this. You shouldn't feel embarrassed. So
it's such a blessing. It really
yeah,
is.
yeah. You're now. What's your ideas on accept? I'm just going to break it down. We'll just go through it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, what do you think when you accept it, that looks like? Like, is that an action or is it just like a decision? You know, or is it just like, okay, I'm just going to let it in the air. You know, like that accepting is the hard part, I think. You know, and I think that's a practice. I think that's something you have to constantly work at, because there's days I don't accept it. You know, where everything's pissing me off. I'm victim. Everything's going wrong. And then I have to stop and remember where my feet are and remind myself of that gift, because, you know, we have to get humble sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're so right about that. You know, I'm not saying once you accept this gift and once you go into rehab, or once you go to AA, or once you go to outpatient, whatever it is, get a sponsor. It's not easy. There's days I don't want to do this. There's days I want to just stay in bed. There's days I get up, I get up early. There's days that I don't want to sleep past. I want to sleep past 5 o'clock, but I know if I don't get up, and I know if I don't hit my knees, I go from the horizontal position to the kneeling position every morning. And I thank God every morning for my recovery. That is number one. I don't come off of that. I thank God every morning for my recovery. And then my list of people I need to pray for, my kids, you know, whatever's going on in the world, whatever is going on. But I thank God for that. And that's acceptance every day. I'm going to accept it. Now,
it's like you ground yourself to reality.
Exactly. Yeah. But sometimes, Skylar, I don't want to accept it. And I go through the motions, and it's okay. You know, it's what's our saying in AA? Progress, not perfection, guys.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward. So you don't feel like, you know, you want to be a dick today. Don't be a dick. But like our friend Tiffany says, don't be a dick. We will get. But if it happens,
you know, there's forgiveness out there.
Exactly. You make your amends quickly and you roll through it. Now, everybody in recovery, us 2%ers aren't the perfect people in the world. We have good days and bad days. You know, so if you're looking to get in this program and you think your marriage is going to be perfect, you think your family's going to be perfect, that's not what this is about. What this is about, the acceptance part of it, is that we're gonna find a way to get through things. Every problem has a solution. It may not be the solution that we want. It may not be the solution that we're thinking, but it's a solution that'll get us through whatever that is. We don't have to turn to drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, lying, cheating, stealing, whatever it is that you know we used to turn to when we had our when I had our things. So that's kind of what acceptance means to me. And it's not easy.
People in the fellowship help us too, because I think it's great. Like, you know, I know right off the bat, I remember calling you one time about something. I'm like, and you're like, Skylar, so you're the first one that's ever done that, ever made a mistake. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we need our fellowship to remind us we're human. And like that, we're, you know, it's progress, not perfection. Like, so that's, I think, so important too with the acceptance, is having my fellowship along with it, you know?
Exactly. Skylar, I want to mention one thing. Everything we talk about on here, everything, even the advice that we give each other or the suggestions we give each other, this is not you and I making this stuff up. This is not you and I being prolific about recovery. This has come from our sponsors, from their sponsors, so on and so on. This is a gift. This is a gift that was passed along from generation to generation to us at this very moment. And we're passing it along to you. And I'm not talking about you because you're a college girl, you do your thing. By no means am I a fucking smart guy. Okay. Am I smart? Yeah. But listen, I'm smart because I listen to people. I'm smart because I take suggestions. I'm smart because, yes, I'm open-minded. That's why I'm smart. Okay. Yep. And it gets me to where I need to be. And then I have opportunities to read books, to go to school. I'm a life coach now. I got my certification. That was fucking months of hell of studying, but I did it. All those months, 6, 7 months, you know, and with school, the outcome is you get a degree, or you get a certificate, or whatever it is. You know, exactly. You have something to get through and achieve to, you know, and that's everything.
Exactly. Achieve it. You know? Yes.
Yeah, achieve it.
That feels really good. That feels really good to achieve something. Cause like when I was using it was hard to even achieve the daily dose. You know what I mean? And now I'm like achieving real life things. Like,
I know.
It's so cool.
I know. So the last part of the gift of recovery, to accept it or not. Here's the sad part, the or not. And I was there with the or nots. I didn't accept it the first time. So when I got into recovery, first time, I'm not a first time winner. I did it twice, and and it's okay. Anybody out there struggling, if this is your second, third, I have known people doing 10 times trying to get in and out of these rooms. I know people
Whatever
have been
it takes.
around from 2001 trying to stay in these rooms. Our buddy John L, he always says, I'm no stranger to these rooms, and he's doing very well. I think 2 years now. John's pushing. So, but if you stick with it, if you accept it. Now, what if John didn't accept it? What if he said no? Where would he be? We don't know. What if we didn't accept it? I shouldn't even pick on John, but what if we didn't accept it? Where would we be?
I think it just depends where my disease is at that point, because what I mean, it's some of us are sicker than others, right? And so I just don't know how long my disease would take me before it took me out. Because that's all I would see. That's what it would come to, is death for me.
Yeah.
I can't see another ending.
Yeah, I know. There is no ending to it. But that or not place, I mean, nobody, first of all, let's be honest, guys. Nobody wants to admit they have a problem. They have, especially a drug or an alcohol problem. I mean, nobody wants to admit that. I mean, I wear it on my sleeve now because I'm 27 years into it. Yeah, it's a lot easier for me to say that 27 years into it. But when you're trying to put the bottle down and put the pipe down and fucking kick the needle, it ain't easy to say, man. And if you're listening to it, it's not easy to say, but just fucking do it. Like you say, Nike
pops out, and that's okay too. What I mean? Like, we have tons of stuff that pops out along the way, and it's okay to admit that we're an addict, and then we have to admit other stuff later on, but we just keep going. I remember, like you said, I remember that first admission. That's so important. That's like the main thing we have to admit.
Yeah.
And then in recovery, I'd gotten through that, and then having to like really accept mental illness. You know what I mean? Like that was another. So it's like we have to accept a lot of things, and sometimes things pop out along the way, but that's okay. I think we just got to keep pushing and pushing, no matter what.
Well, that's the growth part, Sky. Here's the problem. If we didn't accept, if we took the or not place, our mental health wouldn't be good. Our physical health wouldn't be good. Our eating habits, everything. I mean, you name it, everything wouldn't be good. We would be doing destructive things to our body if we took the or not, or pre-recovery. Pre-recovery I wasn't eating healthy. I mean, I always say, when I used to go, I don't know if whoever's listening, but we have Wawa's around us. And in Sayreville, New Jersey, I grew up, there was a Wawa's in Sayreville, New Jersey. And I would go get bacon. No, not bacon. I would get a Taylor ham, egg and cheese sandwich and a coffee with like 10 sugars in it. And my diet was the shittiest diet in the world. Now I'm a vegetarian. I eat healthy. Water, all I drink is water and sometimes coffee. And I'll smoke a cigar once in a while. But before, when I was choosing not to get recovery, I was destroying myself. I feel better at age 55 am I 55 or 56? What am I? 55. I think I'm 55. I feel better at age 55 now than I did when I was 28 and using. I mean, it's just a fact.
You're taking care of yourself. And that's another thing too, is like, if you don't accept it, how long would it last? Because there's people that have medical conditions that will pop up, and that can almost be why you pass. Sometimes that can take you out if your disease doesn't, but it's because your disease is not letting you take care of yourself.
Exactly.
So it's not just the drugs and alcohol that kill you sometimes too.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah. So. If we chose the or not, or some people choose the not, and you're right, well, he died of whatever, or she died of whatever. But you know what? What was that ever caused by? Was it caused by the bad eating? Exactly. Was it caused by the drinking? Was it caused by all the stuff that you shouldn't be putting into your body? Here's the other thing: the worry, the future tripping, the mental health stuff, that'll ravish your body also, on top of everything else. And I'm not saying everybody in recovery is healthy. I'm not saying that by no means. But if you choose recovery, why not clean up your whole life? Why not, if you're choosing to stop drinking, put down the food, put down the gambling, put down the sex, put down the porn addiction, whatever it is, and live a good, clean life. Now I'm not saying be a saint and walk around with a halo over your head. And
we're introduced to a fellowship, and then we start learning there's other fellowships too. So there's no really excuse anymore. I think that's what you're
Exactly.
getting at. It's like there's no
Mhm.
excuse to keep going. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep eating like crap. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
gotta try to
Well,
get a little better somewhere. You know.
exactly. But you can think about this, Skylar. We can still say, or not to our recovery, but to healthy eating,
Oh
to
yeah.
no exercise, to
Mhm.
sitting and watching TV all day, or all weekend, binge watching shit. I don't know how people. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't know how people. I can't understand how you can binge watch stuff. But there is so many better things than sitting on that fucking boob tube inside, watching some fantasy world that does not exist for days on end. I mean, is
Mhm.
it good to get away once in a while? Yeah, absolutely. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
But to get involved, to get so deeply emerged into something like that, that's another problem. Gaming, another problem. Phones, this
Yeah.
fucking thing right here, man, right here. This is not good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good for business. It's good for communicating, but I find myself on Facebook. Why didn't they like that? Why isn't there a comment? Then I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't care.
I'm glad I'm not alone there.
yeah, I don't think anybody's alone. They designed that for a reason. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
true.
But I don't find my self-worth from that anymore. I don't find my self-worth from, oh, does she like me? Does he like me?
Comparing,
He
yeah.
said. I don't find my self-worth. And you know what? You could say whatever the fuck you want about me today. I don't care. I don't care, because you know what? I know I'm a good man inside. I know I'm doing the right thing inside. Maybe do I
Exactly.
fall off the track once in a while? Yeah, but I get right back on. It's not the matter of falling. We're all gonna fall off once in a while. I'm not saying drinking or using, I'm just saying, doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fall off, but it's how quick you get back on the track is
Yep.
depending on how hard you work your recovery, how much you put into this. So I keep the gaps in between the stupid shit small, not big anymore. I
Your
don't
rebound
stay
rate. I like to call it rebound rate.
rebound rate. Yeah. That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Because
The
I
rebound
have
rate.
like mental illness. So when I have like my mental illness breakdown, when I get real upset and I get anxious, I call it. It's like, all right, calm down now. Now, how long can we rebound? and you know what?
Exactly.
And over the years, my rebounds have gotten shorter.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Time in
It's
between.
growth.
Yeah, it is growth. It's huge growth. I don't think, for me anyways, I don't think those will ever go away. It's just
Yeah.
how long do we keep them in there? I might stay in it for a day. I might stay in it for a minute. I might just stay in for a second, like, those stupid thoughts. But it's a matter of, I don't linger on them anymore. I try to get that.
We lived it in before. It's
Oh
not
my
even,
God.
we like lived it every day.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was like,
yeah. Well, I couldn't get past the I'm a piece of shit person type thing. So I really just lived in that. There was no in between. There was no feeling good. Those drugs kept me down. The alcohol kept me down. The only thing my self-worth was in the bottom of a bottle at a bar, talking to a good-looking girl, or somebody, the bartender. Hey, the bartender gave me a free drink, or
yeah, shots. Yeah.
yeah, shots or whatever, or my dealer gave me a little extra this time, or he must like me. That was my self-worth way back when. That's not it today, man.
Nope.
Just coming home and being around my family, doing this podcast, doing what we do best at work, Sky, is gives me but also meditation, relaxation,
Yes.
exercise. That gives me self-worth today. That gives me the knowing I'm good enough, and knowing where, I'm okay. My sponsor, every time, Eddie, you're good enough. I love you. That's what he says at every conversation. And we had him on the show. If you look back, maybe a year ago, check out Andy V. He's on here. So he's on this show. He's just a good guy. He's just, just recovery inside and out. And, I don't know. Anyways, but so the gift of recovery, to accept it or not. Why don't you guys send us emails on it? So, what's your thoughts on the gift of recovery, to accept it or not? Let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are on that. Send us an email. We'll read it. We can always do like a segment on the show where we can read, past the emails and kind of go over them. So, but, that's kind of my stuff on that. What, anything in closing here, Sky? I mean, I think it was a good show. I think we did well.
I think that I think that the saying "a grateful addict and alcoholic never used," and I think that goes to it, because, we sit here and when I play victim, I stay in that. But when I remember, like, there's so much to be grateful for, there's so much to be happy about, so much beauty around me, it really can help me. So I'm
Yeah.
just grateful to be here. And I think that accepting it was probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. And
Exactly.
it continues to be the best thing. That's another thing, is this gift keeps giving. It
Yes.
doesn't even stop. It just keeps going.
Doesn't. No. And you know, we surround ourselves with wonderful people when we're in this state of mind, or in this mindset, or in this state, whatever it is you want to call it. We
Mhm.
surround ourselves with great people. We surround
Yes.
ourselves with people who are going to hoist us up and move us along. You know, there's that saying, if you're the smartest one, I think I always say this on the show, but if you're the smartest one in a room, you're in the wrong room, man. Keep learning, keep having people pull you up, keep having, you know, get up to somebody else's level, get up to the next level, help
No
them,
one got
somebody
where
else.
they were at today by not having help either,
Mm,
because our
mm,
pride can't get in the way. You know,
mm.
we have to be accepting, accept it. It is also meaning embracing it, help, embracing love, like those things. Because Ed, I wouldn't have got here if I didn't have your help, Stacy's help, you know, people in the fellowships help. Like
Mhm.
this is not a Skylar thing. This is a us
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, we have to
Yeah.
sometimes put our pride aside, accept
Yeah,
it. You know?
exactly. And acceptance, and that's the key here. Acceptance is the key.
Mhm.
Read it in the book. It says it's in the book. It's in the book since 1935. They've not taken it out. Acceptance is the
Exactly.
key. There must be something to it. You know,
Right.
they how many revisions of the book are there? I guess they just changed some of the stories, but the first 65 pages is that, I know all these AAers are going to start, you know, the big bookers.
We'll
I
get
think it's
emails about that. That's cool.
183,
We want the
whatever it is. Yeah,
emails.
yeah. Give us emails. Tell me how
Yeah.
wrong I am about that. I'm not a big Trumper guy, but the first, those have never been changed to my knowledge. I know the stories change a little bit and different things change, but that basic text, those first couple hundred pages, they did not change. That is what we do, and that's the gift of recovery. You know, that is the gift of recovery. So if the gift of recovery, you choose to accept it or not, that's up to you. I can tell you from my heart that I am so happy. I thank God. This is how happy I am. I thank God every morning that I accepted that gift over 27 years ago. Every morning. For
Mhm.
27 years, I've been, well, maybe here and there, I missed a couple, but you know, I'm just so overjoyed. So that must mean something, I think. I don't know. I mean, I
I
don't
think
know.
so. I think
I don't,
so.
you know, I'm not thanking God for my car every day. I thank God for a car, you know,
Yeah, the
that I
ability
can
to
get
have
along,
one.
the ability to have one,
Yeah.
because I accepted the gift of recovery. That's why I have a car today. That's why I have a podcast today. That's why I have fucking really good friends today. That's why I have a great wife, great kids.
It's
That
how I
is
got
why.
everything I really ever wanted.
That's
Right.
it.
Like think when you were a kid, you know, you think about all the different stuff you wanted to be and all the different, you know, like those dreams, those aspirations that we actually come and fulfill them now. Like, you know, we become these people that we've always wanted to be.
Exactly.
And probably better, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And here's the other thing, Sky. We also have the ability to make decisions, get the people who are not the right people out of our lives. You know, we might bring somebody in, but they might not be the right person, the right situation. I went through 2 divorces in recovery, guys, 2 divorces. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, because maybe those people didn't suit me, or those wives didn't suit me, or maybe I didn't suit them either, you know? And
True.
you know, now we're at a different place, and we can keep growing. We can keep going through all that. So we have the ability to make really good decisions, say, because we accepted recovery. It's all about accepting the recovery. And speaking of accepting things, why don't you guys go and listen to Sober Pod? Accept them in your life. Sober Pod, they're great. You know, Carl, Ellen, and Chelsea, guys, you know, great podcast. We love you guys over there. They love us. They're always talking about us, always giving us shout outs, and they're always talking about like lobsters. And I think Mike said something about lobster one day, and now they go on the tangent every once in a while about lobsters, because, you know, Mike has his little accent.
Yeah.
Has his accent. So, but no, seriously, guys, go check out Sober Pod.
Yes.
You know, they're a great show. They have really good topics, and I think they make more sense than I do anyways. So anyway, I don't know. But anyways, but I'll accept that. That's okay. So,
Right.
Sky, that's all I got on this. I mean, I can keep going and going and going, but you know, I can see all the views starting to drop down, or the listens starting to drop down at this point. They're like, all right, we got enough. We have enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Stop. So anything in closing before we close out here, Sky?
It works. Choose to accept it. It works.
Good. Yep. Acceptance is the key, guys. So on that, I'd like to thank everybody for listening, and make sure you get your sober shout outs to help@friendsandrecoverypodcast.com. And we'll be sure to read them on the air. And stay sober, everybody.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Since 1992, Genesis House has been helping real people heal from addiction on their private recovery campus in beautiful Palm Beach County, Florida. Their family-owned program is accredited by the Joint Commission and offers detox and dual diagnosis treatment in a comfortable and confidential setting. At Genesis House, they focus on treating the underlying causes of addiction. Their comprehensive approach includes psychiatric care, individual and small group therapy, trauma healing techniques, and holistic care including yoga, massage, and animal-assisted therapy. After treatment, their clients enjoy the lifelong support of a nationwide network of Genesis House alumni. Call Genesis House today at 1-800-737-0933 to speak with someone who understands. Visit them on the web at www.genesishouse.net. It's time to start your journey to a long and successful recovery.